This is my 2025 Honda CB1000 Hornet. I bought this in January 2025, and after a year and a half, I've decided to sell it. But not for the reason you think. So yeah, I am definitely selling this bike, and it is a bit of a shame, because I think this is probably one of my most favourite motorcycles that I've owned, if not my favourite naked bike for sure. Right, let's get straight into it. Reason number one, and probably the most important reason if I'm honest, I've had a really good offer to sell the bike. Somebody's offered me an amount which I'd be foolish not to take up on. So that is, I would say, the most influencing option, because if the offer had been really stupidly low, I would have just kept hold of the bike for probably another year, to be honest, maybe just slightly less than a year. So I bought it in January 2025. I had planned on keeping it for at least 2 years, so I've had it for a year and a half, 1 year, 6 months exactly, almost to the day. And I did buy it on PCP, because the way I kind of buy these bikes is that if it's for the channel, I buy it through the business, and I buy it as basically I lease it. That's how I look at it, and the monthly cost just comes out of the business essentially. Even though it is a bike I was looking to just ride and own, as I said, that offer has just blown me away, and I'd be daft not to take them up. I'm not going to sort of go into the figures in this video. I might do in the future, and the rest of these reasons aren't in any particular order. Reason number two is that I bought this bike for my YouTube channel, my previous YouTube channel, which was also called EnglishBikerDan. If you don't understand what's going on there, watch this video. That should explain it a bit. So yeah, I bought it for content, and there is a little bit of that sort of negativity still floating around with regards to this bike. As good as this bike is, I do feel like it's still got a little bit of that sort of connection to the old channel, which is gone. So I kind of want to start fresh with the new machine. Maybe that's probably man math, isn't it? That's just a reason, but that's how I genuinely feel about it. And the bike's done nothing wrong. It's an excellent bike. We'll get into that as well. But that certainly feeds into it, and I don't expect you guys to understand that. But if you watch that video again, I'll put a card up just there again. Maybe you'll get it. Maybe you won't. You know, that's totally fine. Reason number three, and this is quite a normal. The bike is not that comfortable. I was hoping it would be a little bit more comfortable than it is. I did buy the Alcantara seat, which is, I thought it was a comfort seat, but it's actually not a comfort seat at all. It's just a sports seat, I think that's what they call it. And it's less comfortable than the stock seat, so I've actually gone back to the stock seat. Now yes, I could spend, well, I thought I was going to go down there, and there was a big patch of gravel. I could spend 300 to 400 quid getting the seat upholstered, but I figured, you know what, why spend that money when I could put that towards a new bike? So yeah, that's what I've decided to do, because I've already invested a fair bit of money on this bike. I've put some add-ons to the bike. I've done the exhaust, I've done the quick shifter, because this is the non-SP, so it didn't have the quick shifter as standard, the tail tidy, the seat cowl, rad guard, crash protection. I've definitely spent a bit of money on it, you know, and I paid for all of those. None of those were free, and the bike had nothing to do with Honda either, so I didn't get any discount. I got absolutely nothing at any discounted rate. Before you chime in there with the comments saying, oh, well, you know, you got given a bike. No, that's just not how it works. I paid full asking price, the same as anyone else would. Why shouldn't I? That's how I see it. So yeah, also the width of the tank does seem to affect my hips a little bit. I do find it a little bit uncomfortable, and my knees seem to hurt a little bit. I think that's just me. That's not the bike's fault. It is a naked machine. I'd probably find that on most naked bikes, to be honest. But it's something I have to think about. I kind of need something a little bit more practical, so this isn't too practical for me at the moment as my only bike. Is that reason number 4? I can't even remember where we're at. Maybe that's 4, maybe that's 3, I don't know. Can't even count today. And perhaps reason number 5, some of the recall issues have, I'm not going to say they've put me off Honda as a brand, because that isn't the truth. It's disappointed me a little bit, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to hide that from people. And you know, I've done plenty of videos about the issues with the bike, the recalls, but as somebody else mentioned in the comments, at least Honda are doing the recalls. They're sorting them out as they can, when they can. The only thing I wish is that they'd communicated a bit more effectively as to what they were going to do about the big issue, the oil consumption issue, which I think they could have handled better. You know, I fed that back to Honda. I do have contacts at Honda that I speak to. They have told me, and I do believe them when they say, you know, it will get sorted regardless of what the dealer says. The issue will get sorted. I do believe them, totally believe them, because they can't risk their reputation. They have a good reputation of sorting issues out. You know, I've had loads of Hondas over the years, loads of them. I'd say probably 10 at least. The bikes have never really let me down. They've had issues, but they've always been sorted. So I don't believe for a second that Honda will try and sort of not deal with the issue. I think they will, because they have to. It's their reputation, and they can't afford to lose that. They can't afford to go down the road of certain other manufacturers and risk that reputation. It's too valuable to them. God, this is really gravelly today. So yeah, but I will also say that has fed into, I won't say it's made me decide to sell it, but it has disappointed me. And it is always at the back of your mind that, you know, if I wanted to take this on a tour, is the bike going to be okay in terms of oil consumption? So, you know, I would take a little bottle of oil with me and check it. And that's the thing, it's kind of before I would, and perhaps that's the wrong thing to do, just assume it was all right. You know, you do need to check occasionally, which I do, but probably not as regularly as I should have done. So yeah, you know, there's a bit of a learning experience for Honda, and also for me as well, to actually make sure I check the oil levels on my bikes, and not just oil, you know, all the other fluids, check them over. So I've learnt some bits from this whole debacle. So yes, that's kind of the last reason. It's that you know, the recalls have had a little bit of an impact as to how much I have enjoyed the bike. Now you could argue that's just in my head, and the oil consumption issue hasn't been fixed as of yet, but it will get fixed. It will absolutely get fixed. You know, there's lots of stories out there of what Honda are going to do, but they are essentially going to change the pistons and the rings, or whatever it is. It's going to get fixed, and I do have faith that that will happen. But yes, the main reason again is I just got an offer on this bike that was just too good to pass up. And as I said, I was already kind of thinking about another bike, because I only ever really want to have a bike for 2 years. And if you're wondering why I'm going so slow, it's because they've resurfaced. They do the road dressing where they just throw the gravel everywhere. So there are piles of gravel that I can't see in the shade, so I'm just taking it easy. There's lots of horse poo as well, which is nice. Yeah, I only generally have a bike for 2 years because of the YouTube stuff. If I didn't do YouTube, you know, I would probably keep the bike 4 or 5 years. But I'm in the very fortunate position that I can afford to kind of chop and change my bikes a little bit every couple of years. I know not everyone's in that same situation, but that's due to me working hard on my YouTube channel. So there it is. Those are the reasons why I am selling the Hornet. Now, I know what you're all going to say. Dan, what are you getting? Well, I have put a deposit down on a motorcycle. I am not going to tell you what that is yet, because I'm just waiting for everything to be confirmed. I don't want to kind of make a big song and dance about it if it doesn't happen, you know. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen, but as I still have this bike and I do need to pay for its first or its second service before it goes, so there is that still to do. I just thought I'd make a little bit of a video telling you guys that I am parting ways with the Hornet. And I also want to say, don't let that put you off this bike. If you're looking at buying one of these bikes, and also I would also note that I'm not also there's lots of alsos in there, isn't there? I would also like to say that I'm not just saying that to keep Honda sweet, because I've put out many videos talking about the issues with this bike and the recall issues. I will always be 100% genuine with my opinion. Look at the BMW R12 GS video. I didn't like that bike, and that's what I said in the video. Now, I've had lots of people call me out and say, oh, you just didn't know what you're doing with it, or it was the tyres, or this, that, or the other. I always tell you my opinion, whether it's good, bad or otherwise. Sure, I can be diplomatic about it, but I will give you my honest opinion, because to me, there is no point me hiding my true thoughts about a bike. There's absolutely no point. If I don't like something, I'll tell you. And I absolutely love this bike. I think it's fantastic. It's, as a naked machine, it's been one of the most smile-inducing bikes I've ever owned. It's kind of the bike, I think I said this in one of my earlier videos, it's the bike I wish the CB650R had been, because that bike doesn't have the power. It's only like 90 odd horsepower. This seems to fill in that missing torque of that bike, and yeah, it's just an absolute hoot machine. You know, it's not the best, it's not the most stable, it's not the most agile, it's not the quickest, it doesn't have the best brakes or anything like that, but it is really, for the money, for not just over 9 grand, I think it's gone up in price recently, but it's an amazing value motorcycle. And I think if you're going to buy a new bike, all the issues are going to be rectified, so you're not going to have any of the recall worries. So I would have no qualms about recommending the CB1000 Hornet to people. And if you do buy second-hand, just make sure that recall work has been done. And the kind of upshot of that is you might get one for a little bit cheaper because of said issues. I'm sure that's had a bit of an effect on second-hand price. Oh, this bike, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and you know, if Honda turned around to me and said, Dan, we don't like what you're saying about Hondas, so we're not going to lend you any more bikes, so be it. That's the risk I would take, because I have to be open and honest with you guys. I want to be genuine. I'm going to be genuine. I'm not just going to fluff a brand up for the sake of it. I know people make comments like, oh, you're saying that because you're paid for by the manufacturers. Mate, honestly, if you think that's how it works, then you are... It's quite laughable, in fact, because it's just so far removed from what it works, how it works. And that's the other thing people need to realise is, when I do a video, it's my opinion, that's all it is. I'm not telling you to buy one or the other. I'm not here to, you know, don't get commission from flipping Honda. I wish. Yeah, it's just an opinion, that's it. You can have a different opinion to me, it's all good. And you know, if this video bothers you and you're about to type an angry comment, oh, I can't believe you're selling it, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe, crack on. Like, it's not your money, don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. Just be happy with what you've got. If you decided to get a different bike, great, that's good for you. As long as you're happy, what does it matter? You don't need to convince me that you're happy, as long as you're happy with yourself. Alas, I've probably got quite sidetracked, haven't I? So yes, the Hornet is going. I don't actually know when it's going to go. Probably, I'd say, a month or so. It will be going off to its new home. But once it has done, I will let you know. And as soon as the new bike arrives, of course, I will do an unveiling of the new motorcycle. As I said, I just need something a little bit more practical, as well as all the other reasons. Something that's going to be comfortable, because this thing absolutely smashes my nether regions to bits. And I really need something that is a bit kinder to my body. But that engine is just an absolute beast. Love it. So addictive, just how it delivers the power. Yeah, the brakes are nice as well. Yeah, anyway, that's this waffly video over. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because I've got, like I said, the unveiling of my new bike and other fun videos. I've got my Switzerland tour, I've got the Wales tour on the CF Moto 450. Lots of reviews to come, some fun challenges. So hit that like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So if you go out today, do ride safe, but remember to have fun, of course. Otherwise, what's the point? Until next time, you take care. Peace.